Hello, hi everyone. So today we are going to see an FS document as a support ticket where we had a business requirement that whenever the PO is created, the PO needs to be sent to the vendor as well as the creator automatically. So what is the requirement? The requirement is as soon as the PO is created, the PO copy should be sent to the creator as well as the vendor. That was the request. So to get this scenario run or to write this FS document, first you need to activate the output management. You need to have the output management created so that whenever you create the PO, in the messages tab, there should be output generated. If the output is not generated automatically, then you will not be able to send the PO copy automatically to the vendor or the creator. So to create the output management, you need to maintain the condition table, and main important thing is you need to have the access sequence created. Why access sequence is important is if you don't create the access sequence in the system, what happens? The output will not get triggered automatically. So you need to maintain the access sequence. Once you maintain the access sequence, based on the criteria you maintain in the condition table, based on that, the data will get picked and the output will get generated. So that is the reason you need to maintain the access sequence. First thing. Second thing, you need to maintain the condition type. Post you maintain the condition type, create the message type, what type of message you want to trigger to the vendor. So all this needs to be done first. Then now come to the requirement of the client. So if you have this implemented, the output will get triggered automatically and you will be able to see the PO copy. So that PO copy, what is getting generated from the PO, should get sent automatically to the vendor and creator. To send the PO copy to the vendor and the creator, what all information you need? You require the PO details, the first thing, and you need the vendor details. Vendor details in the sense vendor communication details. What is a vendor email ID? What is a vendor fax? In which media should I send the PO copy to the vendor? So all those things you require. To send the PO copy to the creator, here also you require the communication details of the creator. But this you cannot accomplish with the standard functionality. So you need to go with the FS document. To fulfill this requirement. So in FS document, you are going to collect all the tables. In the table, you are going to say from where the vendor communication details should get picked and from where the creator email ID or the communication details should get picked. For that, you are going to write an FS document. Based on that, you are going to trigger an email to the vendor or the creator, so that whenever you get all the tables and fields, then you are going to write the mail body. You can also set the mail body to be automated so that you can say that, hello sir, this is the PO copy which is sent for the production purpose. Okay, this is the actual requirement of the client. Now, how we are going to fulfill this requirement using the FS document? So to fulfill the requirement using the FS document, we have already generated an FS document. So let me show the FS document to that and we'll discuss regarding the FS document. Okay. So let me go back to the FS document. So this is the FS document. FS document is nothing but a functional and technical specification, as I said. And you have the development requirement or the change request number here, which is going to start from because this is a configuration of the material management. So Now let's understand what is the requirement based on the FS document. So the requirement is PO PDF copy mail should get triggered to the PO creator and the vendor by default. By default in the sense by automatically. So that you can reduce the manual work of sending the PO copy to the vendor or the creator manually. Okay. Now let's understand what is the actual business overview and the requirement. Requirement received from business to send the purchase order email to PO creator and vendor by default. It is same as the brief description. So for this, how we are going to write the functional specification logic. Okay. So now, before you send the PO copy to the vendor or the creator, the first checkpoint what you need to keep in your mind is the PO is completely released or not. So you're saying system or you're saying your ABAPer that whenever you start to build the logic for this or start to write the coding for this for the FS document, you need to first check if PO is completely released or not. That is the first checkpoint. Then after that, the checkpoint is done. Go to the ME29NT code, check table EKKO. As I said, EKKO is the table for the header level because all the message details are going to save in the header level. Go there and check the data, and from there just pick the PO number. From there, just pick the PO number from EKKO table. Then, based on the PO number, check the release indicator is set or not. You have two types of release indicator. One is blocked and one is released. If it isn't blocked, then the PO is not released. You are not going to send the PO copy to the vendor. When you see the release indicator as R, then you can send the PO copy to the vendor because it is already released. So it should reach the vendor now. So first checkpoint is that. What is first checkpoint? First checkpoint is in to see the PO is released or not. To check that functionality, you are going to the table called EKKO. From there, you are picking the PO number and you are going to check what is the release indicator applied for that PO. In the table, EKKO and the field FRGKE, which is the release indicator field. If that value is defined as R, or whenever we pull the report, if that report is set as R, then execute the program. Unless and until the release indicator is not R, you should not execute the program and send an email. Whenever it is R, then only you need to send an email to the vendor, right? That is the first thing. Then now second thing. Now you want to trigger an email automatically to the PO creator as well as a PO vendor. So you need the details of the vendor and you need the details of the creator. What are the details? You need the communication details like email ID, fax number, etc. So to check that, to auto trigger the PO to the creator, you are going to the table of EKKO, which is a PO table. From there, you are going to use ERNAM. ERNAM is the field which is called as a created by. If you go to system and check, for example, if you go to AC16N, if you put EKKO, in this, if you see, this is the PO header table. Under this, now we need who has created this data. If you see here, here you have created by. It is ERNAM. So you got the creator of this PO. Right? That is the logic we have written here. So to auto trigger the PO to the creator, first check what is the creator ID. To check the creator ID, you can go to the EKKO table and go to and pick the ERNAM field from there. Okay. If you go there, for example, let me show that. For example, let me execute here. Let me put 10 because I don't want to see the large number. I'll execute. If I execute, there are some POs here. If you see here, we have created by. So created by is nothing but not your the created name. You will see the system SAP system name there. So this is an SAP system name. So for this PO, Akshay has created the PO. You see this PO is created by ERP Loca 253. So you are going to pick this created by name from here. Okay, this is the first checkpoint. Then you want to pass that created by name to the table called URS21. Okay, to get the personal number. What is personal number? Each and every ID which is created in the system will have a person number. So you are going to pass this ID to the URS21. Let me check what is this URS21. URS21. So this is not a table, this is a field. So here from here you're going to pick the PO creator ID. Then you are going to pass the data to the URS21 to get the person name. From where you are getting the person name or the person number? You are getting it from the ADR6 table. ADR6 table. This table is an BP table where you can see the person number. Okay, now what you have picked here? You have picked the created ID here. Okay, so you are using the creator ID here and you're going to get the person number. So if you put the person number here, you will get the email address of that person number. So let me execute this. If you see here, these are the person name. These are the person number. You have the address number. You have the email ID of the person. So let me go back and remove this 10 and execute. So these are the email ID which are maintained for the address number. So I'm going to pick the email ID from here. I'm saying here, then pass the person number which I'm getting it from USR21 field that needs to be sent to the ADR6 table. From there, I'm going to get the email ID of the creator. So for that email ID, I'm saying that mail should be triggered to the above ID also for this email ID. And if email ID is maintained in the above table, then consider only email ID, only once. Okay, then now you want the vendor details also. Till now we have seen the creator details. Now we want the vendor details also. So to trigger the auto PO mail to the vendor system, you need the vendor email ID. To pick the vendor email ID, what is your base? You have the base of purchase order. So in the purchase order, you are going to pick who is the supplier. So you're going to EKKO table. From there, you are going to see the LIFNR, LIFNR. LIFNR is the vendor field. So that vendor code, you are passing it to the LFA1 table. LFA1 table is nothing but the vendor table. If we go to LFA1, this is the LFA1 table, which is the vendor table, supplier master table. So what I'm doing from my EKKO, I'm going to search the supplier from here. First thing, I'm going to search the supplier. So I'm going to take this LFINR table. What is the value in this table? That value I am going to send it to the LFA1 table. So LFA1 table, that supplier will come and fall under this supplier. So here you have the complete address of the vendor. Okay, if you see there is a name of the vendor, city where he is going to stay, address, everything you will be seeing here. But there is no email here. But to pull the email, you need to go to the other table, which is ADR6. Why we came to this LFA1 table is to pick the address ID of the each and every vendor will have an address ID. To pick that, we came to this table. So here you have an address. So you're going to pick the details from here. For example, let me execute this, or let me paste it here and click on enter. So you have address here. Let me unselect everything. Let me just select LFNR and address. So each and every vendor will have an address number. Based on this address number, you are going to pull the email ID. So how we pull the customer, how we pull the creator email ID? In the same way, we are taking this as a supplier address number, and I am going to the ADR6 table and putting the address number here. And if I execute this, I'll be able to see the email ID of the supplier. So I'm going to pick the email ID from here. As we have two email ID, I need to pick only one email ID from here. So that filter I will give it here. Pass the address number to ADR6 and get the email ID. Okay. Then now you got the creator email ID and the vendor email ID. So now you are going to write the subject of the email. So the subject says, this is the header which you require. This is the, what to say, the mail header, the email header. In the email header, you want the PO number and the date of the PO number. From where you're going to get the PO number, you're going to get it from EKKO EPELN. And the date you're going to get it from EKKO AEDAT. So here I'm saying that this is the mail body. Dear business partner, we need to please to inform that we have released a purchase order for you. So you can send the goods to us. Okay. And you're going to attach the PDF copy which is getting generated from the purchase order. Okay. By this way, you can achieve the client's requirement to send the PO copy automatically to the vendor and the creator also. If you're sending the PO copy only to the vendor, then you can use a concept called IDOC or the EDA. But if you don't have IDOC or you don't want to use IDOC in system and you want to trigger the email to the creator also, then you can go with this FS document. Okay. And you have, as you say, we don't have any T code here because it is an FS document to create the email. So we don't have any T code. We have a program for that. Okay. These all are common section. Okay. So this is a very important function specification document. So go through once. Okay. Thank you.